Hello. God, I just rubbed my eyes. Just went like that. I realised I shouldn't have done that. As we're starting, I'm quite red on there, aren't I? Right. Hello. It feels like it's been about 6 years. My mind is chaos at the moment. I can't deal with the summer. I kind of turn to mush. Can't deal with it all. Can't deal with the lack of routine or process, and can't do anything properly. So sorry about what's just about to come. But hello, giving away another gimmick or Lux. That's an intro. I'm sorry, I was going to say hello to you. I'm Raider, and obviously I can't read that because I'm incredibly uncultured in English. But hello. And, am I giving away another gimmick or Lux? Well, it sounded like I was giving away Lux, didn't it? When I said thing. Maybe. We'll see. I was going to give that away, first class. It's a nice trick, first class. It's a nice little trick, something that I think people will use. There's quite a nice load of things you can do around it. But anyway, before all that, let's do the thing I'm not very good at. Welcome to Real Magic View. Oh, let's press this button. Hang on. I've done that, didn't I? I forgot I set it to go on automatically. Just start again. Anyway, a 6 weeks holiday scrambled your brain yet, Steve? Mr. C, I reckon after about 3 days, it scrambled my brain. Right, welcome to Real Magic View anyway. My name's Steve Faulkner, but all that aside, let's quickly say like and subscribe if you want. Share it if you want. Nobody ever does, but you might, share it and say to someone, hey, good channel that is. Or mention it on forums and things if you like. Go to my Instagram at Real Magic Review and go to see onlinemagic.co. Go and see that, because without that, there is no this. And if you love this, you'll love that. Learn from a pro, onlinemagic.co. I'm on fire. Yeah, very much so, especially because it's hot. So, as I was saying, yeah, my brain is a bit scrambled. I will go, first class, I did a review of it. Have a look at my review of it. It's just a nice kind of double prediction thing. And I think it's a quite a cute trick. You get an envelope, you can do double prediction. They look at some cards, they think of one, then name what it is, and it matches a prediction, then they can do it again with a different way. That's a terrible way of describing it, and that should be my job as a reviewer, to describe things. I'm not very good at it, so maybe I'm not a very good reviewer, but we crack on. How you doing? Good? Mr. C, Bag and Brothers, good to see you. So, yeah, onlinemagic.co is my online magic course, 600 videos. I would say there's loads of new stuff going on every day, and there usually is a lot more, but as I said, in the summer it goes a little bit. I did add a new chapter of the Royal Road course last week, and we're doing the live session tonight. We didn't do one last week, and then not one a couple of weeks ago, so it all goes a bit all over the place, but it's only a tenner a month. Come on, come off it. Coffee a week for all that stuff. Price, well, first class, the price, don't know, because I've got it for a review, but this, I'm giving it away. I'm giving it away at the end of this. And you got a good chance, thanks Tom, you got a good chance of winning this, because it's not like hundreds and hundreds of people do it. So, and I'm having to think about this. Because if I give it away, it's not good. Well, let's go with it. Right. So lots of people think, I'm going to be totally honest. Hey Stefan, how you doing? I'm going to have a little drink, because I'm all dry. Breath tenner off spent. Good, thanks. Lots of people think that I've got my finger on the pulse with magic releases. I don't, and I know most of the stuff, but the reason I don't is because when I get something to review, I tend to do a deep dive into it, and I've talked about and that is not a good thing sometimes. I get quite obsessive, I get the hyper-focus thing, and with optics, I learned everything on it. And I didn't need to do that. I could have learned one thing, recorded it, but I kind of got this obsessive thing on it, which is good, and it's kind of, I suppose, why I've managed to learn sleight of hand without any talent, really. But the downside of that is I get really, and I kind of miss things. I miss a lot. So I sometimes hear about things and go, what's that? And when Lux came out, I had heard someone mentioned a thing, and I went to look at it, and someone said, oh, it's been really, really hyped. So I went, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I watched the first little bit of the trailer, which we'll look at in a minute. But I like not, when there's loads of hype, I like not looking at stuff. I did exactly the same with Quantum Deck. Quantum Deck came out, loads of hype. I'm not looking at it until I looked at it and talked about it. And what that does for me is it removes me a little bit from it. A bit of time passes, not everybody's going on about it again, and I feel like a bit less informed, which is a good thing, so I can look at it from a kind of fresh perspective-ish. Now, of course, I know I'm also obviously going to be thinking, does this live up to the hype? But I didn't want to look at all of the stuff. So I'm going to look at your comments in a minute. The trailer is very long. We probably won't watch all of it. You get the point. But I'll just see the first bit of the trailer if you haven't seen it. Let me know if you can't hear things and all that kind of stuff. Now, straight away, by the way, don't think you're going to be watching this trailer. If you want to watch it properly, go and watch it after this. But I'm basically going to stop this loads and talk about it. Is only one of thousands of effects possible with LUX. Now, I know some people think more is better. And I always mention about my course, 600 plus videos. Now, that isn't necessarily a good thing when you first log in and go, oh. So I don't want thousands of effects. And this isn't a criticism of the trick. It genuinely isn't. But it's interesting that we all, I would think every single magician I know has too much magic, more than they can ever learn. So someone's saying to me, here's a trick, and you can do thousands of things with it. It's like someone saying, here's a magic app, and it's brilliant. It's got 68 settings. I go, oh, don't show it to me. But anyway, so that to me makes me go, oh gosh. But anyway.
Take this, and it's COVID, so I don't want to do anything with this. But any way you want, like on your arm or your hand, draw a little cross.
So put a little mark anywhere.
Any way you want, on your arm or on your hand. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, any way you want. Okay, put the pen down.
Okay.
And now this is UV ink, so just shine a light on the UV. And just keep it
Yeah,
there.
I see it.
But watch, this is you holding the light.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the UV cross.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main trick.
No!
Watch, shine it in the same place on my arm, shine it here. Same place on my arm, watch.
No! Ah, that's creepy, dude. What the hell?
You did all that, I didn't do anything. You did the pen, you did the...
Right, so that's kind of the trick, and that's a very honest representation of the trick. Now, weirdly enough, there felt like there's a little edit in there, and there's no need for there to be an edit in there, because within 5 minutes I could do that trick as that. So that is fine, it's honest, that's the trick. And that's what everybody, now there was a lot of hype before people saw that, but I think when people saw that, it went, yeah, that's really good.
What the f has happened?
Slower. 3,
Right.
2, 1.
Everybody loves it. Everybody goes, yay. And people go, oh.
Magic.
Yeah.
LUX gives you the power of real magic.
It doesn't though, does it? I love Lloyd Barnes. I'm not, but it doesn't though, does it? Because he wouldn't have to buy any other magic tricks. But it does look like real magic. It does, kind of.
LUX is one of the most dynamic magic and mentalism weapons ever created.
Is it?
What does LUX do? The better question is, what doesn't it do?
You can now perform the
Make me a cup of tea.
cleanest invisible deck of all time with a deck that's been in full
Hold me and tell me everything's going to be all right.
use. They name any card, they take it out of the deck, they shine the light on the back of every other card. There is nothing to find. Yet the card that they freely named is the only card that has a UV mark on it. And the best part is, it's completely self-revealing.
So I'm going to kind of stop it there, I think, because you've got this invisible deck thing. Does it look great? Yes, it looks great. And they got the lottery prediction.
Check that they have a blank lottery.
They do that and they
turn
make
it
a
over
mark
and
on it.
randomly mark
I'm not
6
keen on
numbers.
this kind of.
When they shine the light on the
upside down
ticket, they
thing.
reveal
Don't mean I wouldn't do it, but I'm not over keen on it.
their choices. Every ticket.
This is
And
Perform
then, you know, lovely box.
What everybody's okay.
That builds it up, doesn't it? That builds it up to you think, I want something, I want to go see something amazing now. And what it is quite amazing, but it's a pen and a little torch.
This is what magic needs right now. This is exciting, innovative, creative magic. This is new, unique stuff.
Is it exciting? Is it innovative? Is it creative? Yes, I think it is. I genuinely do. I think because it doesn't, I'm not saying it's never been done. I don't know the history of this sort of thing, but it is different. It looks very magical, it is creative, and there is a lot you can do with this. It's versatile, and I think, and we'll talk about that in a bit, I think there's some lovely things you can do with this, actually. Yeah.
Finish your ambitious card routine by having them sign their card on the back and watch it visually rise to the top. Perform the classic move in ink plot in ways we've only ever dreamt about. Hands
do
off
that.
in slow motion like CGI.
Right, and then you can make, you know, you can do all this stuff with stencils and all that. Anyway, that'll do, won't it? So, I got this out, and I did the thing that everybody's going to do if you don't watch download first. You're gonna go, don't work. It don't work. I can't get it working. I'm playing with it now. And I watched download and then realised it did. So don't do that. I was going to text him. Mine doesn't work. Can you send me another one? And I didn't get this. So I got this. This is not a review copy. Well, it is a review copy, but this is a normal one sent from Murphy's Magic. It's not that Lloyd sent me. There was something. I'm saying that because I read the forums today, which I never usually do before a review. But I was interested in what people are saying, and people saying, well, reviewers get special ones that they check and they know they're all right. This was from when I get these from Murphy's. They take it off shelf. They send it to me. They don't check it over. It's just the same one you get. So I got it out, played with it, and then did the first few things, and then went, that's really cool. When you do it, you go, that's really cool. It's similar to how when you see it, you go, that's really cool. And then Luke Germain talked about this thing that I think he did it in his talk, that some people love they love what a magic trick does. They see it, and they then know the method, and then they don't like it anymore, and they go, I don't want it. And that's why I say this does the things it says it does, and it's a really interesting thing. And I know that happens to me as well, but we have to learn as magicians for it not to. If we like that effect, or importantly, if we can see it as a layperson, because we can like it from a magician's point of view because of other things. But if we can see this and watch something as a layperson and go, I like that, that's really cool, that's really special, that's what it does. Of course, I know this has been talked about for ages and forever, the overhype thing, and I talked about this with lots of other things. We're gonna say things like it's the best thing ever. I'm not. Don't quote me. Steve Forster, he didn't say that, but the thing that was said then, that you're setting yourself up for a fall if it doesn't live up to things, and it's a real shame, I think, because this does, I think. Now, I'm not saying it shouldn't be hyped at all, because if you don't hype it at all, no one's going to look at it. You know, and that's the problem. It's like, where's the line? And we are getting to a point where people are going, right, I'm just going to really go for it because I want people to know about it and I want to sell it. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Whereas, if you're not careful, it'll backfire. Did it backfire? Now, a lot of these did appear on the second-hand sites, but weirdly enough, it was one of the only things that I've seen loads of people put it on the second-hand sites and said, actually, it's really good, it's just not for me. And more than usual, you know, I know a lot of people say that to kind of sell it, but I think it was like it was a high number of people. Nobody got this really and said it's awful because it did the thing. There was some reason why they didn't want to do it, and I'm really interested to see why that is. Another mistake, I think, is that, or maybe it's not a mistake, maybe some people like it and it's just me because I get jaded because I review stuff, is that I opened the download after putting my password in twice, as I always have to do with Murphy's, weirdly enough. Open a download and went, great, 45 minutes, at least it's not an hour and a half, because even 45 I go, and then I watched it and I went, right, and then I scrolled down, there were 3 other videos of 45 minutes, and I went, oh, no. And I watched them today, and was there anything that I really got from them that I would do? No. I can see why they do it, and I think it's a good idea because it might get your thoughts going and it might get different ideas. But let's be really honest. The trick of this is sticking something on someone's arm or wherever it is and it ending up on your arm. You can do other stuff. You can have it different out. So you go, right, it's going to vanish. Where do you want it to appear? And you could have it set up so they could say pretty much any part of your body, within reason, let's be honest, depending on the gig. That's like that Discord chat. But, there's loads of stuff you can do just with that. So when he says thousands of things, of course, because you can. It's pretty much endless. What I do like about this is that there are a couple of things that I think that will be really powerful. I didn't see them on the download. I'm sure I didn't miss it. And he's been open on the forums and everything with this, that there are different settings on the thing. So I'll just show you know what you get anyway. You get a pen and the let's do what everybody says, the system. But we open it up. Make sure I always give the download. I didn't do it this time. You've got that and you've got that, which isn't there. Where is it? Oh, it's on my keys. There you go. On my keys. This thing does way more than you think, and it's great because it doesn't look like it does. It just looks like a bit of a rubbish torch. And I'm glad about that. You don't want this looking like, I'm not saying it is rubbish, but it looks like something you're getting a cracker, and that's exactly what you want it to do. But it does more than you think. What it can do with that cross is it can make it appear and then vanish, or show it and then vanish. So I can't do it on here because the lights mess it up. So you show the thing, you see the cross or whatever you've drawn on there, and you don't move anything, or they can hold it and it vanishes on their arm or anything, and it completely vanishes. Then you can put it somewhere else, and then it appears. If you've done it all right. I don't know why I kept that on for so long. So that's quite cool. Then you can have a different setting where it just appears slowly. That's it. And then you can have another setting where it just vanishes slowly, and then you can have one which I think is actually very cool, and I think this is what appeals to me, is that there's a setting where you put it on once and it's not there, and then you put the torch on again and it is there. Suddenly it doesn't appear, it's like bang, it's not there, oh let's shine it on again, it's there. I think there is so much potential with that. I love even when I did it, I went, oh, it's kind of spooky. And on horror films, I'm a big horror fan, where the classic jump scare moment is when someone looks and there's no one there, and then they look and there's someone right there. I love that thing. And I think around a campfire or a Halloween or in a seance show or something like that, if you were to shine it on something, tell a story about a curse or something like that, and then shine it again and this image appears, maybe with a little sound somewhere or something, well, I think that's really good. There's I remember a film, I can't remember what, really creeped me out. A lot of films have done it since, but the film where they're investigating a murder, and they go into a hotel and they go, right, well, we can put the UV lights on, we're seeing if there's any evidence of the murder, what they're looking for, and they put the UV lights on, it's just everywhere, and I just thought that was so creepy. So in that way, you could have an image or something, and say it was blood or something like that, and there's nothing there, but then something happened, you go bang, and it's there. I think there's a lot to be done with that. I delight in scaring my children, especially my daughter, not scaring them in a bad way, but I thought a great one would be to tell a story, and there's nothing there, and then you click on it, and there's an image. You could do like a stencil, and it's like a face, and then as they're looking at that, responding to that, they look up, and you've put the mask on of that face. I think that would be brilliant. So there is a lot of scope, and I think way more scope than mentally. I'll just run through them. They've got ambitious card routine ending. Yes, it's quite nice. I wouldn't bother doing it. There's enough ambitious card routine endings. I've got enough of them. Invisible deck. Again, you look at that thing of, yes, it's impromptu, but is it better than normal invisible deck? No, because all of these things involve getting out this light. And I think that the light doesn't need to be justified if you're doing a routine that uses it. I'm using a UV pen, I'm using a UV light on your skin. It seems kind of like a different thing. When you start mixing it with card tricks and mentalism trick, it kind of jars a little bit because you've already got this tool you're using, which is a deck of cards or something that people are used to, and you're getting out this torch. I'm not saying that can't be really powerful. It can, but just personally, it's not something else I want to get involved. I've got so many card routines personally but I'm not going to add that to that. Mentalism routines, I think there are, yes, it's a strong way to reveal a name, as I said, maybe in the way I said, or the name appearing, but there's something about getting that torch out, which for me, I probably won't do. But would I genuinely do the cross jumping from my hand to the other, which I did today, but got no footage? Would I do the thing that I said? Absolutely. And is there a lot more that you could do with it? I also think in clubs where or if you've got those gigs at corporate events where it's really noisy, the lights dim and you go, what am I going to do here? I think you could do it without script, just very slowly doing this sort of thing. You'd have to be very careful in a club because they might have UV lights on anyway, and then you're in trouble because people are just going to see everything. So I think that for those situations, it's brilliant as well. Anywhere outside, it's dark, it's spooky. It doesn't really hold up very well in sunlight outside. You're okay in natural sort of room light as long as it's not too bright. But anywhere else, you're going to kind of, if it's really, really light, you're going to struggle, but everything else is fine. The lottery prediction is fine. UV nightshades, I think that was based on a Paul Harris thing where the sunglasses vanish from George Washington on a note, end up on another note. It's fine. I thought it was quite nice if you did that. So you shine the light, you see the sunglasses on the note, and then it vanishes, appears on the other note, vanishes again, and then you could kind of make a real pair of sunglasses appear just as a kind of thing. And then there's a version of the ash trick, the classic thing, a little bit like double cross, which it does reference, when they don't know you've touched them really, and the mark, you show the mark there, it vanishes and it appears on their hand. So loads of good stuff. There's also a word search trick, which is a mentalism thing. Again, not really, none of it's any better than the basic trick here. So I think if you like that trick, that's the one you're going to do, and you're going to be able to do that pretty much straight away. It's really easy. That's another thing. It's really simple. You can just do it. Maybe a little bit of practice for timing and stuff, but no problem at all. I'm just going to see if there's anything else I've missed. Oh yeah, I'm really into my horror, and I thought again, someone's going to have the mark. Who's going to be the next one to be cursed? And you shine it on everybody, and the name comes up on one person. I think would be great. Oh yeah, and I had this other idea of doing like a PK touches thing. So if you don't know, psychokinetic touches is a banner check routine where you get two people on stage. One of them is blindfolded and constantly sitting down, and you touch the other person on the shoulder. Say to the next person sitting down that's maybe 5 feet away, what happened there? And they say, you touch me on the shoulder. So you're kind of, you're touching one person on the shoulder or somewhere, and the other person feels it. And I like this idea of actually getting somebody's hands out or another person's hands, looking at the light there, getting someone to shine the light on it, and you rubbing the other person's hand, saying, I'm going to rub it off, but on your other hand or someone else's hand, and seeing that rub off, see it vanish. I think that's really magical as well. So there's a lot going for this. The only problem is, again, we know there's not as much as was promised. And I can understand why people do get, I can kind of understand why people get wound up, but we've all got to be realistic and go, mentalism is ancient. Magic is ancient. For something to come out and be the best thing ever in any of those fields, is it possible? I really don't know now, because I think some of the best things ever are just done with a normal deck of cards, but then I'm old school. It's a good trick. It's a solid trick. I'd be glad to have it. I'm reluctant to give it away, but I probably won't use it because I've promised myself that I'm probably not going to bring in any new props to my magic because there's no room for them. I'm learning a lot more card stuff now. I took some new stuff out the other day, and I think it would be a good thing for someone to have. But I'm not giving it away this week. Or shall I? Because I've said I'll give away first class. Maybe next week. No, I'll do it this week. I'll do both of them, all right? I think that's okay. I have asked, oh gosh, I'm having a mental block, sorry, the British Secret Service guy, and he said it's fine to give that away. Again, I'm not giving it away because it's rubbish at all. I think it's really cool. And you get that as well. So it's quite a big giveaway. I'm sure Murphy's won't mind me giving that away. And then if you like it, just share it that you like it maybe, and that would help out. So Lux and first class. And all you got to do for that, I'm going to tell you now, is if you're watching this live, so don't do it on these comments that I'm going to be going through now, that the live comments. Under this video, you are going to ask me a question, any question. at all. Can be about magic, can be about things. Nothing offensive, please, but any question at all about anything, and I will pull one of them out randomly. That's going to be random, but I will try and go through them and answer the questions in the future live sessions as well. It's good because it gives me content, and if it comes from you, it's something that I'll something that I know that will help someone. So, question about a trick or anything like that, or magic or life or whatever. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to go back. If you give Lux away, please give it to somebody else. I like some of Lloyd's stuff, but this isn't one of them. Okay, so that's fine. Paid £6 for 2 cappuccinos. Yeah, £4 for a cappuccino. I've often paid £4 for a cappuccino. It's nuts, isn't it? So yeah, the £9.99 a month is bargain, isn't it? I don't think this statement is even true. It's like when someone says trick has unlimited possibilities. All tricks have limitations, and that by no means is a bad thing. I see what you mean, Marty. It's that thing of thousands. Well, have you counted them? But I know what you mean. Do you have a method to have a lot of gimmicks? Because there's a problem I have. The problem is money. My country is bad for money. Yeah, you know what? I love gimmicks. I love magic tricks. I'm useless with them. I can't use them. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I do use gimmicks, of course I do. But when you say a method of having lots of gimmicks, 2 ways I could perceive that. One of them is lots of gimmicks on me when I'm walking around with stuff, and that's why I just said I'm not adding anymore. I can't add anymore, or if I do, I'm going to have to get rid of something. I was performing Minted the other day, and it was great, but I kind of didn't have anywhere to put it. It didn't. So that went really well, and then I worked on my card under glass stuff and all that. So there was that. Is the answer to that is I'd struggle with it. If it's gimmicked cards, when I was learning the Harapan stuff off optics, half of that is with gimmick cards, and the tricks doing them themselves is fine. Getting cards in and out of play, I'm fine if I'm doing one routine with a gimmick cards, but if I was going to do 3 of those in a routine in a set, which I wouldn't, but just hypothetically, to switch deck, or what I do usually is just switch decks. I think it's the best way. If you've got loads of gimmick routines and they're different ones, get a deck switch involved, and I think you're fine. Question is, do we give a Lux? 3, not half. Jack of all trades, master maybe not. Okay. The spectator will say, how you do it with a normal marker. Well, I don't know. So as I said, I've shown a couple of people this. The reaction's always been good. Now, I said to one of them, because I know him, I said, right, I want you to be honest. How do you think it's done? And I would never usually say that, but it was to a friend. And they really thought about it, and they kind of were in the right ballpark, but they were wrong. But even when they said that, you could tell it didn't ruin it. They were like, oh, I loved it. I loved the feel. They said it was really magical. My son, now he is my son, and he's starting to think in that way, got it straight away. But I think that's because of, he knows about stuff. I'm not saying he knows the secrets, all of them, but he knows kind of that I get loads of stuff and there's a thing. But I think that, I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't worry about that. I think that you perform it, get it, the feeling of people doing it, most people don't really, it doesn't ruin it for them if they start trying to do things. And I think if you've got a decent presentation, you can have a lot of fun. If you look at double crossed, if you really think about it, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? If you put a coin under someone's watch, pretty obvious. It doesn't matter because it's the experience of the trick itself. If people start asking me how it's done, I just go, I'm going to tell you. That's my very clever line. It's a fun novel effect by Marty, but you cannot compare it to a utilitarian device like a Senatary or Peak device. And I think also with some of the apps now, they're so mind-blowing. With some stuff now, you just can't work out how it's done. You could guess, but there's just nowhere to go with it. They're so incredible. Things like Wikitest and things like that. So, and I'm not saying, that's a way to reveal something. It's not a prediction, I suppose, but there are so many using Peaksmith and things like that that I wouldn't go for something like that. I think it's good, but overhyped for Magic Man P. It is creative, as Marty says. Almost everything Lloyd does is. And I like Lloyd's stuff. It's great. Let's just go. You missed the Dancing Bear. How do you participate in the giveaway? I'll reiterate in a minute. All magic tricks are overhyped nowadays. I won't name names, but certain creators are better at making trailers than they are at making magic tricks. Well, I always think this about performers as well. We've got to a point now, haven't we, where anybody, even if they're a really bad performer, could make a really nice promo. And I think I'm quite a good performer, and I've got shocking promo. So maybe I should learn something from them. But I'm a great performer, but yeah, so it's and it's the same with Magic Trick. You make anything look great. I don't think they've done that here. I will say they like that stuff in the trailer. All that stuff is real. You're seeing what happens. So there is something to hang our hat on there, isn't there? And go, okay, well, if I like that, let's forget about the hype. If I like that and I want to do that trick, I'm going to be able to do that trick. And I think that's quite cool. Jeffrey, awesome as always. Steve, lovely channel. Oh, thank you. Very nice of you to do a giveaway on this. In my opinion, this is my single biggest disappointment and rip-off in years. Yeah, I will, and I've got no reason to say this. I'm not connected with Lloyd, and Murphy's know that if I don't know something, I'm not going to review it well. I think it's a good trick. I think it's all about the hype. And if you think that's the only problem, then it doesn't take away from what the trick is. And the fact it's on your key ring, so you can carry it around with you. It feels different from a normal magic trick. All that stuff I think's great. Too many unusual objects. The spectator will either think the ink is special or the light, and they'd be half right. Yeah, and I think you can say that. You know, my way of doing this would probably be, I've been messing around with UV ink, because I love it. It's great, it's not there, and it's like magic, it just appears. Look, it just appears, and you can't see it. And just be honest about that. And I've got one of these lights that shows up UV ink, and I think to use the light, say what it is, and don't shy away from it is the way with this one. And talk about, even talk about those films where they shine it. I don't know. You give away every week or every month. I try and do a giveaway every week, but to be honest, I've got no sense of, I'm rubbish at keeping up with anything. But I will try my best. I do like the OCR, the ambitious card routine application. It looks great, doesn't it? It does look great. My reason I won't do it isn't because it isn't good. It's because I don't want to add it. I've got 200 ways to finish anyway. Nice call back to the Discord chat. Is it worth the price tag? Magic's expensive, isn't it? You know, there's an app that I know is $800. You know, you've got to look at whether you're going to do the trick. The way I look at it is, if I really want to do that trick, do I think £60 or $65 or whatever it is loads of things are 50 quid, 60 quid. It's expensive, and if I got it and it didn't do what it said it was going to do, I'd be gutted, and I'd say it's not worth it. It's the price someone wants to charge for it, and if they get the money and people are happy with it, some people are. I'd be interested to see why people aren't, what it is about it that people aren't happy with. After explaining that, my idea of how it works while watching the trailer could be accurate. This is about a Switch one. I like Switch one. I think Switch one's nice as well. But again, I can see why people were disappointed. Very easy for me sitting here getting stuff sent to me, isn't it? Just kind of go, it's worth 65 quid. Did I buy it 65 quid? No. But if you're doing a seance, if you're doing certain things, I would. The original Nightshades is so much better. For Marty, if you could secretly stamp someone unknown with a UV cross, it would have made it so much better. Well, you can, kind of, not with the cross, but you can do a similar thing, which is, Hey, Alon, Magic Alon, giveaway, woohoo! Yep, it's all about the giveaway. Speaking of cards, we've got I have some card news for you, Steve, I'll tell you later. Ooh, we got the live session in 25 minutes. Murphy's are cool. Yeah, Murphy's are lovely for sending me loads of stuff. It's great. Mike Davis did first class. Thank you, Pete. That's what we'll be giving away with Lux. Look at that. You're going to get two things. Do Lee people just guess it's a torch? No, and the person that I said, well, my son did, but I think you can cover this stuff. It's like the gap in the Lincoln rings. If you think about how you're doing this, if you bring them, if you do the thing with this PK touches or something like that to make the experience magical, I think it becomes less important that people just want to experience it. And I think this does look very magical, and I think there's an entertainment value to that. Thanks, Leonard. Fun effect, overhyped and overpriced. That's the general problem with a lot of magic. Yeah, maybe. Glad I could catch you live, Morgan. Lloyd is some cool stuff. Always love seeing his thinking. He is, and again, I think that is to be applauded. Check out Lloyd's channel, as Marty just said. You're welcome, Simon. I'm just going to... You're a great performer, Stephen, too. You forget what you're performing. Yeah, that happens. That happens sometimes. David Blair, I love the way Lloyd thinks. I've seen this done live and it's a great trick. Part of the reason he came up with this, he did double cross and it all went very wrong. Yeah, and they do mention double cross. I think you could do it with double cross. I could, you know, you could do it with that ink and then go, actually, people say maybe it's the ink, and of course it isn't. You've seen what I've done. All right, we'll do it with normal ink. Let's do it with a Sharpie, and then that takes them away even further from it. I'm not sure that'd work theatrically, but it's an idea. As long as you have a great presentation, absolutely. I like most, not all props released by TCC. Hansen Chen stuff is usually good too. Yeah, they are. They're both quality stuff, aren't they? I'd love to read all these out, but I do find there are too many gimmicks being released. The amount of emails I get, especially on a certain big American website, is astounding. Yeah, it's funny what's happened with Magic, that has always happened, I suppose, is that no room begging for us. You haven't missed anything. You never put my comments on the screen. There you go. I forget all the time. I always forget that I can do that, and then I do it sometimes. I forget an awful lot. That's what I do. I've forgotten what I was just going to say. Do you know what I realised? Since I've been, I don't want to go on about it, but since I've been diagnosed with ADHD, it makes you realise it's so not, because I can't, when you've got to peek a card, you've got to do a peek or you've got to do a glimpse, so someone already glimpsed it. I have to glimpse the thing about 4 times before I give the deck to someone for shuffle, because I glimpse it and go, 4 of hearts, then I forget. Then I go, I've got to look at it again. So it proves out what you can get away with, because I'm reading the thing about 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I do forget an awful lot. Can I enter the giveaway? Yes, you can. That's a very cool thing there, isn't it? I love making you lose track of your thoughts. Don't skeet. I can't focus, but that's what makes it fun. I wrote this show, and it ended up being about 3.5 hours long. And I've tried to whittle it down, and every time I whittle it down a bit, and then think of more ideas and add to it. It's an awful. Ruben, hey, how you doing? Thing. What was I going to talk about? Oh. Don't know. Question, what's the best magic coming out of China? I don't know, you know. I'm terrible at knowing what's coming out of where. It's so bad. I'm actually practicing a lot of magic at the moment. A lot of actually, you know, card magic. So I don't even know what's going on in the news half the time. Can't watch it. It's supposed to be sad. Right, I haven't missed anything, have I? Better go, I suppose. I just talk forever. Will the winner be selected tonight? No. What will happen is, I think I'm in next week. Yes, I am. I've got a job in Portugal, everybody. That's what I'm doing. But I think I'm going there on Friday. So keep an eye on it. Make sure you hit the notification icon when you subscribe, because then you'll know if I can't do one. Right, explain to us details of giveaway magic school. Right, okay. That's it. Enough, Steve. Enough you waffling. We want the detail, and we want to know actually why we're here. This is the details. First class. By what's wrong with me? First class by that lovely person that I was just reminded of again. Mike Davis. Lux by Lloyd Barnes. Look at that. I think they're both good tricks, right? Forget about the hype. Turn it off, all right? They're both good tricks that you could perform to someone and they would go, that's great. And that's what we want. So that's about, I hope it's all right giving this away. Because I'm not giving it, if Lloyd's watching this, I want you to know, I'm not giving it away because I don't like it. I've talked to a lot of creators, and if I said if I do give it, it doesn't mean I don't like the trick. It's because I need more room in my house. I don't want a house anymore. It's too much work. I want a flat. That's what I've decided. And maybe a van. So what you have to do is after this, you're going to wait until this goes on the channel, so it's on the channel, and then under that, when the comments are there forever, not like these ones. So if you think you're watching it, because some people think they're watching it live and they put under the real comments, hi Stephen, I can't believe you're not watching it live anymore. So it's Thursday evening and it's now 20 to 6 UK time. Put a comment, ask me a question. Anything offensive, I won't answer it. Stupid's fine. Stupid, I don't mind stupid, but anything offensive, anything. But if it's a genuine question, I'll sort of go through them over time and try and answer them. So all you got to do is ask me a question, and I will put that through a bit of software. A random person will get selected. I will pray it's not somebody from another part of the world, because it will cost me loads to send it to you. but I'm a man of integrity and I shall send it to you. Unfortunately, it'll be by donkey, because you can do that for £2. So no, it won't. It'll be 8th class. You'll get it when you're about, 90. Steve uses too much waffle dust. Stop saying things to me then. Do questions like, what's the meaning of life? And I'll keep trying to find first class. Is it out already? Yeah. Have a look at the review of it. The winner will be next week. Random comment picker. Yes, I do. You want a lot of detail, don't you? And what I'll do that morning is I'll clean my teeth. I'll get up. I might have a cycle, and or go to the gym. Sometimes I go to the gym. And usually about 10 minutes before, I'll do a random comment picker and I'll pick it out. Or I could do it online, but I might get a bit flustered. Right, don't do your comments here. I have hands, but I'm not gonna. I'm glad you like it, Marty, because I can't do anything else. I've tried, even with the meds. It seems that they don't stop that, which is good, isn't it? 40 minutes of this now you've had. Well done. Right, so for them, wait till it gets on the site. I'm going to go now before I hate everybody. We love giveaways. No, I can't. I'll do more of them. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've got to have a haircut as well. Look, I haven't seen anybody for ages. You're trying to... I have hands, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Chris, because it'll offend someone. I'm not going to get cancelled. You make me get cancelled. I'm going now. You have to tell me the thing. I've got 20 minutes for my live session. So onlinemagic.co, go and have a look at that. If you like this, you'll love that. 600 millions of hours of me waffling on and teaching stuff. Your style is overpowered. Thank you. No, I'm not. Stop pleading with me. Take care, everybody. See you later. No, Chris. Like and subscribe and do all the other nice things. Bye.